Have you ever wondered how a man who had everything can describe his life as empty? On this journey, we will explore the deep secrets of Solomon, a king who experienced power, wealth, and pleasure. Prepare to find out why your words challenge common beliefs about success. In a counterintuitive statement, Solomon reveals that the path to true realization may be different from what we imagine. Stay with us, because curiosity will lead us to unravel the complexities of life through your words. The secret that only Solomon knew is in Ecclesiastes 1 verses 1 and 2, which are the words of the preacher, son of David, king in Jerusalem. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. Solomon wrote 3 books of the Bible, namely Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Solomon's Songs. Many Bible scholars believe that Solomon wrote the Songs of Solomon in his youth, the Book of Proverbs in his adulthood, and Ecclesiastes in his later age. By this order of events, we can easily trace the progression of Solomon's life. Now, what surprises me is that a man who wrote 3 books of the Bible can describe his life as meaningless and empty. These 3 books are drastically different. Song of Solomon is a book of love, structured as a dialogue between a man and a woman, celebrating the physical, emotional, and spiritual dimensions of his love. The poems describe lovers who yearn for each other, their physical attraction, and deep emotional connection. The Song of Solomon is a rich and complex literary work that explores the depths and complexities of love and human relationships. His beauty and poetry made him one of the most beloved and enduring works of poetry in the world. Later, when Solomon grew up and gathered more life experiences, he wrote the Book of Proverbs, sharing his wisdom on various areas of life. This book is known for its practical advice on how to live a good and fulfilling life, addressing topics such as wisdom, justice, relationships, money, and work. The sayings are often presented poetically, making them easy to remember and reflect on. Finally, the Book of Ecclesiastes was not only a compendium of his life, but also a summary of what life is and what God requires of each of us. Solomon spoke like a gray-haired man near his grave. After reading the Book of Ecclesiastes, many people are left with a feeling of deep pessimism. The general tone can be seen as gloomy and depressing, portraying life as ultimately meaningless and ephemeral, describing the world as a place of vanity, oppression, and injustice. This book challenges many of the assumptions about the meaning and purpose of life. It suggests that our efforts to accumulate wealth, seek pleasure, and gain wisdom are ultimately futile and will not bring us lasting happiness or satisfaction without God. Ecclesiastes can be seen as a book that summarizes Solomon's return to the faith. In the secrets that Solomon discovered in this book, we find a teacher and preacher. We found a man who knows what matters in life and what doesn't. In 2018, Cole Newton published some interesting commentaries on the Book of Ecclesiastes. He highlighted the main experiences Solomon gathered before writing the book. Solomon was a man to whom God had given everything. He was the epitome of the American dream in terms of political power, religious authority, intelligence, and wealth. Solomon surpassed Bill Gates in terms of wealth, feeding 35,000 people daily. This included servants who waited for him, evidencing the scope of his power. However, Solomon, despite having everything, described his life as empty. Even with 1,000 wives, lust, power, and wealth, Solomon hated life. The promises of riches, lust, and power failed. The search for pleasure and sinful lifestyles is also empty. As Solomon points out in Ecclesiastes 2:17, "I hated life because work under the sun is painful for me, for all it is vanity and vexation of spirit." Narrating his adventures, Solomon tells how he built houses, planted vineyards, made gardens, accumulated servants, musicians, and musical instruments. Despite having everything, he found no satisfaction in any of these things. He hated life, realizing that there are things deeper than pleasure, lust, wealth, and power in this world. Solomon's narrative helps us understand the words of Jesus in Matthew 16:26. For what good will it do a man to win the whole world and lose his soul? Or what will man give in exchange for his soul? Solomon reminds us that there is something deeper than the things of this world. The relationship we build with Christ in this life of vanity will speak for us in eternity. Solomon's narrative helps us understand the words of Jesus in Matthew 16:26. For what good will it do a man to win the whole world and lose his soul? Or what will man give in exchange for his soul? Solomon reminds us that there is something deeper than the things of this world. The relationship we build with Christ in this life of vanity will speak for us in eternity. In his account, Solomon reveals that even the greatest human achievements can become futile when disconnected from a higher purpose. The accumulated wealth, extravagant feasts, and displays of power did not provide the lasting satisfaction he longed for. A counterintuitive statement, considering that many associate such achievements with a full life. The book of Ecclesiastes, far from being a mere compendium of the life of Solomon, is a call to reflection on the deeper meaning of existence. He challenges us to question whether our own pursuits are rooted in lasting purposes or mere temporary illusions. As we explore the words of Solomon, we are faced with the revelation that the true reward is not only in conquest, but in understanding that there is something greater that transcends earthly ambitions. Curiosity drives us to look beyond appearances and to seek a deeper meaning. Society often pushes us into an unbridled race for success and achievement, but Solomon, with his accumulated wisdom, reminds us that true satisfaction comes from a deeper connection with God. His life, marked by excesses and greatness, reveals the true essence of the search for spirituality and reverential fear of something greater. At this point, it becomes evident that the vanity of life, as described by Solomon, is a warning to reconsider our own priorities. While many pursue ephemeral pleasures and temporary conquests, the wise words of this king urge us to seek something more meaningful and eternal. Therefore, the message Solomon leaves us is that amid the seeming futility of life, the true reward lies in the journey of understanding and living according to God's commandments. The journey of wisdom, reverence, and understanding of the complexities of existence. Are we ready to dive deeper into this quest? The answer to that question may very well be the key to the realization we all seek. At the conclusion of his message, Solomon leaves God's expectation for mankind in Ecclesiastes 12:13-14. Fear God and keep his commandments, for God will bring every work to judgment, with all things secret, good or evil. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. This fear is a healthy reverence and respect for God's will, power, majesty, and authority. Solomon understood that without the fear of God, we are prone to stray from the path of righteousness and fall into sin. This fear also holds us accountable to the commandments of God, leading us to a life of blessing and abundance by living in obedience to his commands. Amazing, isn't it? Solomon's reflections challenge us to rethink what we seek in life. If that journey resonated with you, don't forget to leave your like, share your own thoughts in the comments, and of course subscribe to more in-depth content. This is just the beginning of a series that will explore the truths we often overlook. Invite others to be part of this learning community. Together, let us seek wisdom that transcends the vanity of life. Click on the registration button now and do not miss the next episodes. See you soon here in our space of deep reflections. And remember, the real reward is in the journey for wisdom. See you later.